What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider, joined once again by the man himself, Mr. VIP, Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
I am infinitely awesome, sir. Thank you for asking. It's good, though. It's good. Isn't this the sign?
It's all good.
That's the sign when it's all good. Why don't we do this more?
I don't know.
It's the universal sign, right? It's official. It's all good.
Well,
it's all good.
You say universal. This is a sign for American football, and American football only stretches so far. You do have some international fans, but there are some countries in the world that don't give a damn about American football.
How do they say goal in what's the hand gesture goal?
I don't think goal has a hand gesture.
Goal!
People just yell goal.
Then they stick their hands up.
No,
in
they
celebration
just
of the goal.
Throw their hands up because they're cheering. But I mean, that's a universal gesture for cheering.
What do they do in South Africa?
What, when there's a goal and they're cheering?
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. This is all good. Okay. We're all good. Either that or your armpit's hot. One or the other.
One or the other.
Something's happening.
Yeah, you throw your arms up, something's happening. I mean,
your hands go up.
Yeah, because I was just about to say,
stay there. And they stay there.
Hands going up is a universal sign for a good time. Because how many songs have instructed people to put your hands up?
Everybody in the place to be, put your hands up high where I could see.
That's
put
one.
Your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care.
That's another one. Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus. And I throw my hands up to play my song. All of that.
Let's not forget raising the roof.
Raising the roof?
Raise the roof. That's putting your hands up. Yeah. You got to raise the roof.
The hands go up. That means a good time is being had.
Listen, I think we know this is all good. It's all good. It's good. It's all good. One is all, and then the other one is good. It's all good. You can either way.
So you just throw a hand. Wait. So which one is which? Because I just throw one hand up.
It's interchangeable. It's interchangeable. It could be all. It's all, and then it's good. It could be it's good and it's all, or it's good and it's all, and it's all good. It's all good.
I don't think you could just have one up though. You can't just.
No, you got to have both.
You got to have both of them up.
If you have one, unless you have a disability that you can't, raise the other one.
We're going too far.
Implied. It's implied. It's implied that it's up first. So then you're just good. It's all good. It's all good.
We're getting too far in the weeds.
Oh, your elbows are hot. I mean, your elbows are hot.
Fan your elbows off. Oh man! But this is
Daniel Bryan.
This is All Things Super, where every week we take a piece of superpower movie, TV show, even trailers. We watch them, we react to them, we break them down, we review them, and we answer the question, or we ask the question: is it super?
Is it super?
Yes. We have to ask this before we can answer it.
Why I did the robot voice? I don't know. I can't. I went with it.
But if you like that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your favorite podcast streaming platform. And if you want to reach out to us on social media, just click the link in the description below.
And leave comments because we read those. Sometimes I read them on my phone when I'm in my personal time.
That is something that you can do on a phone.
I'm just letting you know. That's the connection we have. If you leave it, I'm reading it on my personal time, not on work. Personal.
Off the clock.
Sometimes I'm in places that I shouldn't name, but I just want y'all to know that's personal time. But I do read them. It's personal when I read them. That's because it's personal to me. So y'all help me out sometimes. Y'all just don't know it.
Yeah. So leave those comments.
You know what? It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Bringing it back.
It's all good.
But this episode, we are going to be reviewing Amazon Prime Video's G20, starring Viola Davis and Anthony Anderson and Anthony Starr.
Why you ain't say my show?
Marseille Martin? Okay. I mean, do you want me to go down a whole cast list? I feel like her
apparently not.
Her
okay,
part was,
clearly.
her part was, I guess she was an integral part of the movie. She did
Whoa,
have.
whoa. Here we go.
We'll talk about it.
Here we go.
But
Okay,
if
apparently.
if you have been hanging with us, I want to
You
say
know.
3 weeks ago we did the trailer reaction. 2 or 3 weeks ago we did the trailer reaction for G20, and
If
we did say that we were
if
going to check it out and review when it came out.
if we're any type of savvy, well, not me, but spider savvy, he'll click it in one of these like things, and you can go watch that.
Yeah,
If he feel like it. If it ain't up that he feel like doing it, yeah, I go just bully nobody and doing stuff. Okay, I'll finish.
you'll be able to find it. It'll be related. But so Viola Davis stars as the president of the United States, Danielle Sutton.
Yes, she is.
She is hosting a conference in, well, yeah, I guess it was her conference, the G20 summit in South Africa.
She's gotten everybody to come together.
Yeah, because she's trying to introduce a plan to use cryptocurrency as a form of currency for African farmers. Because the money is easier to. I never really fully understood what she was trying to do. I just know that she was trying to use cryptocurrency for farmers in Africa because it was supposed to be, the money was supposed to be like more easily transferable or something like that. It would be easier to get the money to those countries in order for them to be more fruitful as farmers, I believe, if I remember correctly, if I understood the plan.
We were doing stuff. That's what we were doing.
We were doing stuff.
We were having a conference to do something. We were doing it.
Well, the plan, the conference was to talk about it, to try to get the agreement of the other countries that were part of this G20 summit. But in the midst of it, there is a terrorist that comes into play, and he is going to create deepfakes of all of these political leaders in order to make it seem like they're robbing they're robbing their countries, in order to tank the global economy, to reduce the power of the US dollar, to get people to invest in cryptocurrency, which would in turn take the cryptos that he already had, the Bitcoin, because they specifically said Bitcoin, but take the Bitcoin that he had and drive up the value of it so that can make him rich. And in the midst of all of this,
nothing like bricks at all.
No, nothing like
what
bricks.
You're talking? No, not at all.
But Viola Davis, President Sutton, who was a Army combat veteran, goes on to I won't say a one woman, I guess like fighting back, because she did have some assistance as she went throughout all of it. But basically she's fighting in order to liberate the rest of the leaders from the conference and stop this guy from exploiting them and making off with all this money. What did you think about G20?
Oh, we're doing this one this way.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a real. It's the plot of the movie is not deep. The plot of the movie is not deep at all.
Let me tell you something. There's only 2 words that come to my mind when I see this movie, and it's not G20.
Okay,
it is homage to the greatest Christmas movie of all time, which is Die Hard. Die Hard, Die Hard, Die Hard. They did a Die Hard. It's a Die Hard.
It is a Die Hard.
In the trailer breakdown video, it's a Die Hard. They did a Die Hard. But like all things, they put their own twist on it. So instead of you have, like you just said, one lone person throughout the night, because again, it all happens in one night. Die Hard happens all in one night. It's all in one place. It's all at the conference. It's all in one building. In fact, there was even a shot beat for beat when the truck pulled up. I was like, oh my God, they stole that beat for beat from Die Hard when the trucks pull into the Takanawi building, the Awanaki building. I'm saying the name wrong.
Yakatomi Plaza.
But there you go. There's the opportunity to say it the right way. Wouldn't have had that without me. You're welcome.
You know what?
But when the trucks pull in, they did shot for shot, and I was like, I appreciate that. It's a Die Hard. Now, uh, me loving Die Hard, one of my favorite movies of all time, I'm gonna say this: this was a Die Hard.
Yes.
There you go. Oh, you want more?
Well, I
Okay,
mean,
all right.
I just wanted to know what you thought about the movie. If all you
I thought it was
wanted to
a
give
Die
forward
Hard.
is you thought it was a Die Hard, then I mean that is a fair assessment.
How far you want me to go down? Are we shallow until we go deep, or are we deep
I
until
mean,
we just come up for air?
we dive in the deep end. This is how we do the
Okay.
show.
Okay,
We
I'll just.
what
Sometimes we like to
what do
be
we say? We are
preference.
consistently inconsistent. So how we did the show last episode doesn't have to be how we do the show this episode. So
And I hope y'all taking notes so
if you
y'all
want to go
realize
ahead
this.
and just
Hit
go,
the like button for that.
there you go. But I will say this, and we can spend a little bit of time talking about this if you so choose.
Wait.
Yeah.
For those who didn't see it, we normally try to at least recap the movie more so.
You, I mean, I feel like everything I said was everything that they really need to know about the movie. You
Well,
want to go in depth to each scene, or
there's a daughter mother dynamic that
yeah,
plays a part into the story. So you have
does it though?
Miss Martin.
I mean, I guess
You have Miss Martin that plays the rambunctious teen
Serena.
who's Serena. She's clearly a Shuri genius level hacker.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's hacked the White House security system that she's able to break curfew and go out and have fun with friends, drinking, underage drinking,
Yes,
and
she did say
enjoying
that she's
teenage
going to be turning 18 and however many,
next year.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, and she's the president's daughter. So of course she's immediately identified and immediately on the press. And they catch her and they bring her back in. In fact, that was the reason that they woke Madam President Sutton up
At the
because,
beginning of the movie, yeah.
at the beginning of the movie, just letting her know her daughter had returned. So the consequences were severe. Like if any parent has ever taken the door off the hinges of their child's room, she got all of her electronics taken, which is horrible for an IT kid. That's
I mean, horrible for any teenager this day and age.
this is very true. It's almost like wishing death upon them because they can't really survive without technology.
Yeah.
So that happens, and then we're going to the G20 conference. She wasn't supposed to go.
No.
This wasn't a bring the kids to work type of an event. Based on the situation that had happened, they're now being punished reluctant to go. So now they're going, and that's why the kids are here. Again, kids played a huge part in the Die Hard franchise. It wasn't until they recorded the kids on the TV when Hans Gruber found out that Holly Gennaro was actually Holly McClane. Big part. So I appreciate the kids having a part to play in it because again, we're doing Die Hard. So now we're at the G20, and it's not before long that here comes the terrorist, played by Anthony Starr. Let me tell you something. Let me get into that in a second. Let me give you the synopsis. So Anthony Starr comes in, and Anthony Starr's, all these guys, as presidents do, vet all these people months in advance before the president's in the most controlled environment ever. You're not just about to run up on the president. It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
You're if you think you're running up on him, I promise you it's not gonna be a good day for you. So with a summit of these many leaders, security is obviously top notch with backup. And then next thing you know, boom, the backup is taken out immediately. Here they come in, almost like how Joker came in through the Dark Knight. If you guys ever saw the Dark Knight, it's just here they come, and now they're here, and they're shooting, and they're killing, and it's real, and it's like I appreciated the groundedness of it. I will say this: I appreciated the groundedness of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, terrorists are taking over. Of course, we got to get out of here immediately. We're going into a shootout. That was unexpected, but it's a Die Hard, so yes, going to a shootout.
I mean, it
Because
only makes sense because you have all of these world leaders. They have their security details. If someone is storming the room that they're in, you would imagine that they are going to.
this what you paid for. I need you to shoot it like this, babe. Okay, so now we got to get out of here. Family is split up. In fact, it was split up anyway because remember the kids are in the room kind of on punishment, and then Anthony Anderson, the husband, is going to check on the kids, and then we have. I thought he was going to have an elevator scene. I really thought the security was dirty, and we was gonna have a elevator.
Well, it
Scene
was just not that
Anthony
one
Anderson.
guy.
Yeah, well, Anthony Anderson came with lies, and he was throwing them dogs, and rightfully so, because the situation that happened that you about to do something to my daughter. You gonna catch these hands? Get these hands, and he got hands put on him. So I'm fast forwarding. Stick with me. This is all happening at the same time because the hostages, the leaders, and there's no help because they done killed all the backup, right? So now he's taking over again, creating deep fakes like Spider said, because we're trying to throw the narrative out there that the world leaders are trying to take your money, tank the stock, go up in the Bitcoin currency situation, which is really kind of counterproductive of what you were saying because you were telling them not to go to Bitcoin, but they were going to Bitcoin because you told them not to.
No, that's what Rutledge was telling him. He said, take your money out of all of the banks, invest in Bitcoin. So that way you can protect your money. So basically, everybody's buying up Bitcoin. It's reducing the value of the dollar, hiking up the stock of Bitcoin. So now because of the Bitcoin that he had at the beginning of the movie, now it's worth hundreds of billions of no, it was hundreds of millions of dollars. I think it was.
Okay. I mean, if it makes sense to you.
It doesn't. I know nothing about cryptocurrency, but that's the way that they framed it in the movie.
Okay. So, maybe that's some. Hey, if it makes sense to y'all can leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Help me understand. Help me understand.
If any of our viewers or listeners understand cryptocurrency, cool. I don't need to know about it. I don't need to hear about it.
I want to know.
Let Mr. VIP know.
Half of a coin,
so you can educate him on
of a coin.
They're not. It's not a bit of a coin. It's like a computer bit, like a kilobit or a megabit. It's like a piece of digital. It's a digital piece. That's why it's a Bitcoin.
Okay, it's a bit much. It's a bit much is what it is.
It is.
So that's happening. At the main time, in the between time, of course, we're trying to catch the president because the president gets away. They're in a situation that they're stuck in a room. They're trying to figure it out. At the same time, we got Manny. Manny's been there since the beginning. He's the Secret Service, right by the president's side. Number one guy would take a bullet for it. Took a bullet.
Does take a bullet for it.
Manny is the star of this show outside of Miss Davis because you got to fall in line. Anthony Anderson did his thing. Martin did his thing. But Manny up there. They can't take nothing from Manny.
I have words to say about Manny, but continue.
I know because I'm just saying Manny stood out to us. Boy, when Manny didn't respond, I was like, Manny, you better not goddamn die, man. You gotta hold on, man. The lights came on. Girl, Manny, I was like, surprised to see you at the end. I was happy because goddamn, Manny. Listen, Manny got shot. Manny was like, where's the president? Because he passed out. Because they was trying to get out of the situation, right? We got to get the president out of here.
Mm-hmm.
President. The idea is to get down into the beast. The beast is the mobilecade that the president rides in. It's 100% bulletproof. It's bomb-proof. It's like the most protected armored tank. Now, interesting that it's in South Africa, which means it came earlier.
Yes.
Before this again to let you know
that's not something that you can just put onto a C-130 and then just transport it
Right.
to a different
They don't
country.
drop they don't drop them out the plane like they're doing the Fast and the Furious just to let it fall.
Yeah.
They gotta clear it and get it in. So again, just to show you how prepared they are in advance they are. So that's downstairs while the conference is upstairs. So we're trying to get downstairs. We got to get on the elevator and ride down. You guys probably saw that in the trailer. When I don't know if she slipped through the door or she just got, to a point, it was like, man, I'm not about to get shot. And she jumped down.
No, you should
But
just
when she
jump
jumped
down.
down, that elevator scene was on point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that elevator scene was on point because it was, since Captain America did his elevator scene, everybody kind of wanted an elevator shot. I'm just saying what it is. You can disagree or agree. Put it in the comments. I'll read it. But everybody got an elevator little fight scene, and we have a die hard. We going through it without. We can get downstairs to the beast, taken out amongst a bunch of guards along the way. But the president gets to a point. We get past the kitchen. We see hostages in the kitchen because the president really didn't want to leave everybody. Security, Manny, on the job. I got to get you out of here. I don't really care about your feelings right now. I got a job to do. My job is to protect the president. I believe Manny. I believe Manny will take a bullet. He took a bullet. My beliefs came true. And that's how dedicated to the job he was. When Manny saw, he woke up, he's like, where's the president? While they were leaving, because again, they had to get to the beast, got in the beast, they were about to take off. The president has to stay because they now have a husband. Because he didn't get away, even though they already had plans in a situation like this. You don't come back for me. You take our kids and you get out. Now,
Which
the
is what he
exit was
did.
blocked. That's exactly what he did. Exit was blocked. He couldn't go downstairs. The next best thing to do is get up, try to get up, and go over. Didn't work. Come to find out, they got caught. He's not going to let them take his kids. He stands up and sacrifices himself. Kids just so happen to make it by hanging off the side of the goddamn G20 building. These are kids. They ain't got the upper body strength to be hanging off the side of this building for that. And how long they had this hanging? Both of them was hanging. I would have
Well,
appreciated if somebody would have.
when they
I
when they
got you.
when they zoomed out to the far shot, they show that there was a little bit of a ledge for them to kind of like stand on. So it may not
Thank
have been a
God.
lot of purchase for them, but they were just kind of holding themselves so they wouldn't fall backwards. They
Yeah.
weren't necessarily hanging.
Yeah. I appreciate
Because
that.
ain't nowhere in the world they had the upper body strength to hold themselves up like that.
Your boy was up there for a while. Looked like he about to start writing his name, like Staz was here or something like that. You gotta get. Come on, dude. We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
So they got the husband. They make the announcement that they got the husband, and it's known that who the husband is. So it's not like Anthony Starr's character is very well versed in who's there. He calls people by their name. And let's talk about Anthony Starr's villain for a second. He is, I don't want to say he's Homelander because he's not. He's Anthony Starr. And in this, you get Homelander, but you get Homelander like a grounded Homelander, and he's different. And he got a knife in his goddamn backpack and his fanny pack, and he just cutting ears off with just to make a name. Don't piss him off. He'll cut your ear off, Spider. He'll cut it off and put it in a glass of ice. Like that's gonna do something. It ain't sir. You can't save that for later.
I mean, that's what they tell you to do. If you lose an appendage, or not an appendage, but if you lose,
he needs some milk.
Milk is not going to help his ear being sliced off. If you preserve a body part, if it gets detached, you can put it in ice for a short period of time, but it does have to be reattached very soon in order for that body part to still be viable. That man is also dead, so he doesn't have to worry about his ear anymore.
Yeah, it was a sign that he wasn't gonna make it. But he did still, like, he died a hero. He died a hero.
He died trying to stand up for his country, and for his fellow world leaders.
He died a hero. And rest in peace to his character. I hope we see him in other movies where you have two ears.
And shout out to his wife that followed in his example.
Right? So we get pure comedy when they did the foreshadowing when the president was having a conversation with the girl that was wearing the heels.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I can I cannot not wear heels. I don't have the
She
confidence.
said,
I'm not as tall
I'm
as you.
not as tall and confident as you."
When she
She
took them
took
heels
those heels
off,
off and stood next to the beast. I'm like, that is a child.
that
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 is
was pure comedy.
a child hopping
That was
into a jacked up 4x4. She was so tiny.
I was like, why is she so small? She's so small.
I was half expecting her when
I
she
didn't ask for it. I was pushing it.
when she said that she was going to be the one to drive. I was half expecting her to get into the car and then the steering wheel be like right here. That's because she was standing next to
The
it.
way she was standing next to it, I had to laugh. I
They
had to.
had to, if the size of the vehicle was the exact same size of the vehicle that she got into, they had to have like a booster seat or something in there. Because when
I
she
think it
stood,
was just a trick for the camera, but
it
it was
had to be
funny.
because she stood next to the car and like the top, like the bottom of the frame of the window was like right here to her. That's how small she was compared to the car. So I knew when she got in, the steering wheel was going to be up here. There was no way she was going to be able to see over the dashboard.
So they break out, right? Because they finally get to a point that you guys got to get out of here. I got to go back. The young lady, young Asian lady, is like, I can't leave my husband, and I don't know if she knew he was dead at that point in time.
No,
But
she didn't, because she had got separated.
yeah,
She had got separated from him from the beginning.
and she got a
Because
sweet ass
they were
opinion too.
when the shootout happened, it was
They got separated, yeah.
the first lady of South Korea and the Italian woman. I don't think she was a. I'm not sure. I don't know what her position was. She was she was the head of the International Monetary Fund. But so
Okay.
it was them. They were hiding behind a table, and her
Yes.
name was Elena. Elena was having a panic attack, and so President Sutton
Yes.
kind of calmed her down. And then when they were escaping out of the room, they brought the two of them with them. So at that time, all they knew was that the gunfight was still going on, and they were removing themselves from it. So no, she didn't know that. She didn't know that her husband had gotten killed yet.
Yeah, and then we get that breakdown when she finds out. So
Yeah.
she's there and she's crying. Um, man, lot, lot happening. So she sees the people in the kitchen and she says, like, we're not going to leave them there. And I don't need your permission, Manny, to save them. So, but I do need your help. And so Manny is compelled because again, she's the president. You go do what the president tell you. That's your job, and you go protect the president because that's your job. So they ended up saving the people in the kitchen. Now, the lady, the South African lady with the buzz cut,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because again, this is a movie and I don't have all the information that we will have probably like 4 months later when the movie hits streaming and they release all the information. I think she played two roles. She was also the lady that got shot. She had the same buzz cut, but she had a blonde top. I caught that. I don't know if that's right or not, right or not. I think that was the same lady because she was security, and then but she was I don't think she was security. I think she was a wait staff. Anyway, she got shot, and then she doubled back as a captive who turned out to be a part of the military South African.
I must have missed that. I didn't see that.
That's right. I have an eagle eye. I got it from the pet store. They implanted it. Anyway, so bottom line is she saved the people in the kitchen, who's turned out to be some type of South African military or militia that was actually placed there by the president for for thought, I guess. I don't know. But she all of a sudden there was a plan. This is your mother's plan. This was her plan. That's the words that they used. Your mother always had a plan. So I guess we're saying she's a planner caliber.
Well, there was a South African president that put them in the hotel because he wanted to add additional security.
I'm not mad at that. Damn, too bad half of them got killed. The other half got murdered.
Yeah.
So see now Anthony Starr's coming for her, and the person that comes for her, again, Anthony Anderson let the president know who was dirty, which again, Anthony Starr was threatening say what you see when the kids were on the security, because again, the kids got to come off the roof and try to find their way out. Now they're all alone. You can clearly see them on the camera. They catch that, so now they're going to try to catch them. You already caught Anthony Anderson, so it's like, tell him what you see. He takes that opportunity to tell her who's dirty. So therefore, if she sees that person,
She
you know
knows
not to trust
him.
him. He's dirty, and of course, who comes to collect? The dirty one himself.
Dalton.
Part of her, Dalton, dirty Dalton, dirty Dalton. Dalton gets his though, because again, Manny rolled out the car like a goddamn Secret Service assassin. He seen the president wasn't in here. Even with that, he got shot, y'all. He got shot. He's like, where's the president at? He seen the president wasn't driving because the president was supposed to drive the first time, which is crazy too, because I guess why wouldn't you be in the back like you're supposed to be? Let somebody else. They had two other people that could have drove. But okay, it's all bulletproof, so it don't matter. Anyway, Manny jumped out the car, tucks and rolls, right? So when we see the lights coming, I'm not really thinking that's Manny. Manny, because he's shot. He's not about to run up. Just you're not 100%. But it wasn't Manny. It was actually the team coming back again. Fast and Furious style. It's all about family, country families from different countries, because we didn't have this trauma together. We all gotta look out for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then Manny takes out Dirty Dalton and calls him what he called him? Traitor something. He had the line.
Yeah.
I'm butchering it. Manny came through.
I think you call him like a backstabbing piece of shit or something like that.
It wasn't the best line. It wasn't the best line for an action movie, but you know, it was heroic. Anyway,
what he said after that was better, because they also of course the part of that team was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Oliver, and he was giving Danielle shit all night.
Yeah,
because talking about Americans were bullied, and you know, because this was what I was saying when we did the trailer reaction. Because he was like, "Oh, you know, you think you're Captain America? I'm supposed to take orders from you." And then that's when in the trailer they showed the elevator scene, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and follow her." But so that was the whole character arc, because they had a whole touching moment in the kitchen and everything, and he was giving her shit because in the trailer they make a point of showcasing Danielle being on the cover of Time magazine for saving a child during a war in the Middle East. And so Oliver, again, the UK Prime Minister, is saying, you know, I already know about you. Yeah, you served in the military, but you didn't really do anything. You saved a kid from a building, and then they took a picture, and now all of a sudden you're a hero. Yeah. Right. You got made famous off of a photo op. And so they're having this touching moment when they're trying to hide from the terrorists, and Danielle comes clean. She's like, I was stationed over there. There wasn't a lot happening, but when it did happen, it got crazy. Just so happened
she got shot.
She was in a building. There happened to be a kid in there. She was getting the kid out. They happened to take a photo at that time. But she said what they didn't show, or what they didn't highlight, is that she had to pry the child from his mother's arms, and she was half blown up. So we get into this very emotional, heart-wrenching story of she knows that she's not what the public was making her out to be, and she lives with that. She holds on to that. But what Oliver tells her is that there was also a famous, you know, UK politician who, what he say, was taken hostage and was escaped, and was retelling his escape story, and you know, ended up becoming very famous politician. He was talking about Winston Churchill. So they had their moment where they connected. And so when they're trying to leave in the Beast, and Manny finds out that the president's not in there, and he rolls out, and they come back, Oliver's driving. Oliver shoots Dalton. Manny shoots Dalton, and Oliver gets out of the car because he was providing a distraction with the headlights. And I think he cheered or said something, and then Manny was like, "Shut up, Oliver, you're in timeout."
That's when Manny was like, "Manny, Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because he got out and he was mad. It's like you're gonna do my job for me. And he's ex-military as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, Danielle was
you take
Army,
pride
Manny
in
was
doing.
Marines.
Yeah, you take pride. Oh, it's for all the people that don't know Marines. Look, you're not just about to tell them what they're gonna do. You better off kicking a tree, getting the tree to fall. Just leave the Marine alone. Let him do what he want to do. So he takes his pride in job seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So he's back at it. Will it be damn? I'm a Marine. I got a job to do. So now they're back at it. And again, testament to Manny, because Manny said, I ain't dying on this watch. They got to get uh Miss Martin this gizmo that she
The
needs so she can hack.
what the RFID card maker.
Yeah, because that's going to be able to bring the signal to the
She
G20,
needed it so
which
she could
unlock the doors.
recode the doors to unlock it, so the task
Tactical
force that
team
was
can come
coming
in.
in to save everyone so they could get in.
Which was not America, by the way. This is not a story that America saved the day in the traditional sense of cavalry. Saved the
No,
day.
it was more of a coalition of forces, because they had to call in
Mm-hmm.
help from, or they had to coordinate help from all of the countries that were present, because
Which
as
is
the I want to say probably the Secretary of Defense, what he said was, if we launch a counter assault and any one of these leaders die, if we launch a, what did he say? It
breach.
was singular, if a unilateral counter assault. So if one country goes in
Yes.
and any of one of those other leaders happen to die, that could be seen as an act of war. This one country went
Yep.
in and my leader died because of what your
Yep.
country did, we're going to war. So they had to wait for
Yes.
everybody to come to a consensus and try to figure out how to
The
jointly.
best way.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. There's a reason
And it
that they don't play around with those type of
took some
tropes.
time.
Of course, politics to be damned, but people are getting killed. Anthony Starr is slicing people like cheese in there, like he making a charcuterie board. He got this little knife that he keeps in his fanny pack. It's not a fanny pack; it's on his belt loop. But I'm just giving him shit. He comes out with that thing, and the precision with it is almost like Bucky in the Winter Soldier. He's just doing tricks with it at some point. He just slicing, and it's brutal to watch. So we get to a point now that we got to have the standoff because again, got to have John McClane, excuse me, and President Sutton, and the villain.
Yeah.
And here we go. We get into a point now that happens. We got to get away, but as we fighting, I drop my little wallet, which is called a wallet, but it's actually a digital box that shows your currency amount. This
Well,
is
it
what
technically that was is sort of like a digital drive that contained the Bitcoin.
right. And beforehand, we got this digital device. Do you remember how we got the digital device, brother?
Yeah. So the movie starts off with this scene. They're in, I want to say they were in Budapest. And so
Mm-hmm.
this woman is delivering the device to, I guess, Rutledge's tech guy. What we find out later in the
Mm-hmm.
movie
Mm-hmm.
that is this tech guy. And she's getting ready to deliver it, and it has the Bitcoin on it. And she wants to see the money. And of course, the guy is trying to haggle her. It's like, you get the money after they verify that the Bitcoin is on the device. She says, no deal. I'm not about to be your errand boy. She bashes him in the face with a lit candle.
Boom.
And then, because
Gotta
they're in a
get you.
church, they're in a church for the
Yeah.
handoff.
Yeah.
But she bashes them in the face with a lit candle. She takes off running. They chasing her through the streets of Budapest. And she took some falls. This woman, she ran into a, what was it, a tattoo shop, I think.
Yeah.
She
Something
ran
like
into a
that.
tattoo parlor, tried to speak in Hungarian to try to get the people to like at least hold the guys off. They came in with a gun. The dude was like, "Oh, I don't know." I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, none of that."
No
She jumped out the window. She went to another like cafe or residence or something, and she jumped off a balcony, landed through an umbrella into a table. This woman took some lumps. And
it was a realistic fall, though.
Yeah,
it wasn't something that
it
was.
wasn't something
was
like
grounded.
she jumped down and she landed on her feet and rolled. And no, she hit that table and she collapsed and crumbled.
And umbrella, and she
Everything.
took a lot of stuff down. And when the guy jumped down, it did look like he broke his ankle.
Yeah, it looked like
his ankle.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he
landed
twisted his
wrong.
Ankle.
Again, appreciate that groundedness.
Yeah, but so she dipped off into a bar.
Why was Anthony Starr in the church?
He wasn't in the church. He was outside of the church.
He was in the church. He was dressed as a priest.
Was he?
In the church, dressed as a priest. Never didn't understand that.
I didn't see that.
Didn't understand that.
I completely missed
that was like
that.
his first interest. Dressed as a. I'm like, why is he in there dressed as a priest?
But then when did he change?
Up sometime between following the girl.
Okay.
And then he kills her with that little knife.
He didn't. No, he didn't kill her. No, he didn't kill her. He drugged her. He injected her in the neck with a drug to make her pass out. He got the beer off the bar, put the beer on the table, came up behind her, injected her in the neck, and then just like slightly or lightly or gently like placed her head down on the table.
The shit that he says, he's like calming you down while you're dying. It's like she's almost over. It's like, wait a minute, this is not something that I want.
Because even because the guy that was the head of security for the location that brought him on, they were old buddies. They had surfed together and everything. When he killed him, he gutted him with the knife. He got the knife like stabbed up here. And he's like, you just need to let go. Just let go.
You need to let go. Remember that money I owe you? You'll never get that shit back. You'll never get it back. I just want to tell you this now before you go. I borrowed your shirt. Start confessing all kind of shit. You're a horrible friend. I know. I'm killing you right now.
Yes,
I'm killing you now. I'm letting you know I'm a horrible friend.
I ghosted your sister. just an evil dude. Just evil.
I re-gifted your Christmas gift you gave to me.
Just getting it all out. Just getting it all out.
That's horrible, dude. So now the conflict. Okay, so obviously he drops the wallet. I didn't understand why he was in the church. That's why I know I asked you that question.
Yeah,
I thought you had to answer.
I don't know. I completely missed that part.
So the wallet is being now picked up by one of President Sutton's oldest friends, a confidant, her running competition for the presidency.
And
she brought her on as an advisor.
She brought her on as the what was her role? She was the Secretary of Treasury, I think.
So
yeah, she was the Secretary of Treasury.
What did Chris Tucker say? Follow the money. Follow the money. It always shows you. Because even though he was saying all this nonsense to the people about take your money out and put it here, all that confusing stuff, he was getting rich. Again, it wasn't about the upfront. It was a heist in the back. You know who else did that? Guess. So once you crack the tumbler and the final thing goes down, here comes the money, and they got all the bearer bonds. All the crypto. So it's so diehard, Spider. And now we're going into the helicopter. So we got to get off of the roof. No, we don't have a situation where we jump in from the building and swinging through the glass. We have a situation where we're on the helicopter and we got to get off of it because it's teetering. And as it teeters...
Well, the thing about it is that Sutton and Rutledge were fighting. The wallet falls out of his pocket. What was her name? Joanna? Yeah, Joanna. Joanna, Sutton's friend, the Treasury Secretary, she picks it up. And as they're fighting, Rutledge is getting upper hand, but then the First Lady of South Korea comes up. She stabs him in the back of the neck. He drops.
You get what you live by. Live by the knife, die by the knife.
Die by the knife. So she stabs him in the neck. He drops. He goes down. And so the reason...
Which is weird. I didn't think that he would drop like that from that stab in that placement.
Technically,
yes.
It hurts. Technically, it shouldn't. because that's basically just like your trapezius muscle right here. So there's not, unless she got him in the artery in his neck, which I don't think she did because that was blood, but it wasn't like arterial blood to where he was bleeding out. But yeah, I don't. He
this muscle right.
Really shouldn't have dropped the way he did because he dropped.
Well, he didn't because he dropped and then he kind of laid down.
Yeah, like he was dead. And I guess that was just to cause a diverge. He was like, "Oh, I'm stabbed. I'm down.
I'm just gonna play it.
I'm just laying here.
Play it on all.
But the reason
when everybody think they won, I'm gonna exit stage with my currency.
Because the reason he was able to get away because Danielle went to go check on her husband because he got shot. Rutledge shot him, and he went down. Presumably just got wind knocked out of him because he had a bulletproof vest on. And so while they're doing that and she's talking to Joanna and realizing that Joanna was the inside person, the reason that she's the one that vetted Pax Global, whatever the name of the security service was. She was the one that picked the location. So it was all her plan. And
the whole time, your enemy is your enemy.
And Danielle slapped the shit out of her.
Oh, that was a Karen moment. It was so Karen. The way she fell was Karen. It was like
because her whole thing was, she worked her whole life to try to become the president. You know, because she ran for president, and so she worked her whole life, try to build up her whole reputation to become a president and all this other kind of stuff. And she was accusing Danielle of stealing it from her. And so Danielle slapped her in the face, looked her dead in the eyes, and said, "I was elected." And that was her mic drop moment.
Life.
And so she has to go after she was just going to let Rutledge go until her son comes in. It's like took Serena. I saw,
here we go,
because Serena was trying to get to the ballroom or the meeting room because she saw the task force going in and they were rescuing all of the other politicians, but they didn't know what room the president was in. So Serena took it upon herself to try to go tell the task force. She ended up getting caught by Rutledge in the hallway. The son, Demetrius, I think was his name. Yeah, Demetrius saw it on cameras, so he went to go tell his mom. So now Danielle has to go to the helipad to go and try to get Serena, rescue Serena.
Because she didn't want no smoke. He gone. Let him go.
Yeah.
But then you snatch my. Why do we do this, Spider? Why do we keep stealing these?
I was waiting to get to that part so we could talk about it. He could have taken the helicopter, been gone. Yeah, he would have found out later on that he didn't have the wallet on him, but he would have been able to escape.
But it would have been cool because your girl would have had it.
Well, she wouldn't have had it because Danielle would have still got it from her. But he would at least had a head start on escaping.
With that slap, she would have dropped that wallet quick.
Yeah.
Oh!
But the thing about it is that he could have had a head start to escape, but he didn't because he had to take the daughter hostage. And even because he didn't know that he dropped the wallet. Because even when she showed it to him, he was checking his pockets to make sure he still had it.
Right.
So if he thought he still had it, why
did you take the girl?
You could have gotten on the helicopter and left.
I guess he thought that he wouldn't get shot out the sky if he had her. But I don't think he thought about that until the president said it.
Yeah.
And when she said it, it was a very compelling reason to let her go. Because you're right. You're not going to shoot me out the sky with the president in the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Because without it, I'm good as gone anyway.
Right.
So it makes sense to do the exchange, but he tells her to put the gun down. President puts the gun, who's become a badass at this point. She was badass.
She had to get back into the swing of things. Because we saw...
Well, she was training before.
Well, not only that...
The point to show you that she's fighting them. She's a fighting president.
Yeah, but not only that, when she was in the elevator, and even though Manny was fighting with one of the guys, and she had to, like, angle the shot to try to get it, understandable, she had to try to wait till she had an open shot in order to get the guy off of Manny. But we also saw that not only was she trying to track the guy to get him, but her hand was shaky. Right. But when she got that rifle, when they were in the lobby, she was 360 no scope Just turn around, pop, pop.
Top.
One shot,
Top. And my
headshot.
daughter here, top.
Yeah. So she just had to get back into the swing of things. That's all. But like you said, the whole groundedness of it and the realism of it, it wasn't like she was single-handedly taking. I mean, she was single-handedly taking out everybody when she had the gun.
In that
but
scene,
as
it was
as
Die
far
Hard
as
with a crew.
as far as hand-to-hand combat, most of those fights she did not win. She
she was getting up.
She got her ass kicked a lot.
Let me tell you something. I wanted to go on the screen. You ain't gonna just choke Viola Davis like that in front of me. What the fuck you doing, dude? That's too much. That's too much. You're acting too hard.
But they did it because I know that, of course, going into these types of movies where you have a female lead, but not only that, but you have a person of color, a female person of color as a lead. Of course, you already have people saying that the movie is trash. The movie don't make sense. Who asked for this? We don't want to see this. Dude, I'm telling you, when the trailer dropped, the videos were already out there. Whatever. But what I do appreciate is I appreciate that she is a middle-aged woman. She's a combat veteran. She has an injury. Her knee, because they make a point to ask multiple times, how is your knee feeling?
They show a close-up.
They showed the scar on her knee, so we know that she's working with an injury. So yeah, she's not going to be, she's training. Like you said at the beginning of the movie, she's training fight, but she's not going to single-handedly overpower the men that she's fighting, these mercenaries, these jacked up, juiced up mercenaries.
Hell yeah.
I
do is kill.
She's not overpowering them, but
she's a retired veteran.
Right. They made a point to mention when she was training with Manny, how he was teaching her, they were basically doing jiu-jitsu. And so he's teaching her how to use her opponent's weight against them, which is what she had to do because a lot of the guys that she was going up against were bigger than her. And so she did that one little flip that he taught her how to do at the beginning. She did that to everybody she fought. I'm like, when are they going to stop falling for this move?
Hey, when you play a street fight and all you know how to do is a duking.
Cheesing it. Just cheesing it. That was her cheese move.
Do something else. Why would I do that?
Why would I do that? I'm winning.
Well, listen. Viola Davis threw that thigh out there in the elevator. I was like, oh, Lord, what just happened? I thought this was an action movie. She got that thigh out. Thank you. It was a good action scene in the elevator. I'm not going to front.
Yeah. No, like I said,
you can only do so much in a confined space.
Yeah.
Right?
And then
the hallway scene.
You're not looking at the because like you say, it's not a Captain America fight where you're one man taking on 8 different people. This was a coordinated effort. Well, coordinated in the sense of they knew that they had to do something because
had to do something. You got to do something.
Here's the thing that I don't like. I don't like when movies or TV shows go so heavy-handed with trying to make a character unlikable and then want us to like them in the end. Because with the UK Prime Minister, he was such an asshole to Danielle that entire movie. And then after she proved herself, then he was more agreeable and willing to follow her and willing to listen to her. But at the beginning, I was like, I want him to get shot. Because I'm like, he's such an asshole. I wouldn't mind if he got taken out because he's not redeemable in this moment. And only because she was willing to be vulnerable with him, now we're supposed to be like, oh, okay, well, maybe he's not so bad. It was like, I understand.
He almost died too.
What was that?
He almost died. He almost died several times. When they threw the goddamn rocket, Anthony Starr's like, this is what the missiles are for. This is what we brought him. What are you talking about?
Because he didn't, at that moment, he didn't know that the president wasn't in the limo. It was like, the president is getting away. That's what we have missiles for. Shoot him. Well, the missile was on target. That's what we have the rest of the missiles for.
What you think we're doing? We brought it to use it. What are you thinking? So we got to shoot stuff. We think we was going to shoot. We knew they were coming.
Also,
shoot it.
Again, like you said.
And again, if you don't know the president was in there, why did you try to shoot? You need the president to do the deep fake to get like the last little bit of your money because you had enough but you didn't have
Well,
enough.
you said he did his homework. He knew everybody was going to be there, so I guess he knew that the beast could withstand missiles from a
I
surface
read the
to air
specs.
rocket
You could
launcher.
shoot it right, shoot
But
it
here's the
directly in
thing:
the ass.
this
That
was
flip.
a hotel, right?
Uh-huh.
This wasn't a government building. This was a
No.
hotel constructed on the
Yes.
top of a mountain.
This is true.
So what
Beautiful
I would have,
hotel.
it was a gorgeous hotel. What I want to know is, did they like shut down so they could bring in a fucking missile launcher to put into the hotel? Because hotels don't just have missile launchers on hand.
Well, they came in again. When they came in like semi trucks. They came in like big trucks.
Yeah,
So it's not
I
unlikely they
guess
had it
they
with them.
brought it with them. Sure.
If Dominique Toretto could bring a charger to every country he goes to.
I think he just has people where he knows a dealer, and it just when they
Already tuned.
when they went after, what was it, 5, that's when they got the safe.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
that after 5 and he got his money, he purchased a Pontiac GTO or Charger, and
Everybody did something different.
and just he put it just all over the world. He just like anywhere him and Letty decided that they want to visit one day, he was like, well, let me go ahead and make a call and get a Charger dropped in that country.
Bring out that charger in Spain. I'm going to Spain. Bring that charger out.
Oh,
So now we in a situation on the roof. Instead of flying off, well, we don't. We got to have a trade off. We fight.
mm-hmm.
The driver's knocked on. The wallet is knocked on the roof.
Well, because she threw it up as a diversion. I thought she was going to throw it up because the helicopter, the rotors were already spinning up. So I thought she was going to throw it up into the rotors and it was going to get destroyed. But she literally just threw it up enough for him to look up so she could like get his attention away. And here's my thing.
And then that thing went.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's made of, vibranium or uru.
Well,
metal
I mean,
or
it was a you think like an OtterBox. No, it was like a they have like
made of plastic, but I guarantee you throw it up in the helicopter blade.
Well, throw it up in a helicopter blade, yeah, it's going to get destroyed. But that's what I'm saying. She didn't throw it up into the blades. She threw it up. Well, I guess because with it being light, she threw it up. The downforce of the wind from the rotors are going to push it back down. Because it's not like she chucked it up there. She just kind of tossed it.
I could have sworn it hit the blade. I don't know.
No, it just went up and came back down and then started blowing away.
Oh, well, clearly it blew off the roof.
Yeah.
I forget Anthony Starr character's name. He was mad.
Rutledge, yeah.
He comes back, started shooting up the helicopter. So now the president has to try to fly, and she's not a pilot.
No,
but
again,
circumstances.
what it's deviating from these action movies where the protagonist can just do everything. Like without having any experience.
Download the code to the Matrix. I could just need a helicopter download. I got it.
And her daughter's like, we need to lift off. She's like, I'm trying. You know, I'm not a pilot.
Yeah, that part. And that don't go well. They damn near kill themselves.
Yes.
and then Anthony starts coming through like a crazy person trying to get in the helicopter because goddamn he bad.
Mm-hmm.
So we tilt her over, and there's a whole thing. We think that we're going to lose Miss Martin because situations. And
well, she was zip tied to the frame, and so she was trying to get out, so she could help her mom because Danielle was fighting Rutledge on the side of the door, and then they were both like kind of falling out. Serena got free. Kicked.
The realest shit she did. Start using her teeth to get out there. That's some goddamn gonna survive. Look, I couldn't get out with the strength. I wouldn't think it's a game.
But so she kicked Rutledge, and Rutledge just ate it, and it was just like, okay, I got you. And in that moment of distraction, Danielle was able to grab him and like yank him off, and so they both fall outside the door of the helicopter off the side of the hotel.
Yeah, I thought we lost the president on that one. I was like, oh, I guess Guess she ain't gonna be in no sequel. Yeah, she gone.
But lo and behold, she was able to hold on, and then Serena pulls her back into the helicopter, which is still teetering off the side, which
Still teetering.
they
Still tense.
lay on the floor. They're like, oh, well, we can't move because any shift, we're going to go down even faster. And in that moment where they're laying together, they're saying their final goodbyes and everything, the task force and all of the
Out
other
of nowhere,
politicians come out with some straps.
Spider-Man that shit.
And
What?
just
Throw
throw
the
'em
goddamn
over the
straps
helicopter,
over there and
and
hold
they
it
can
down.
all pull the chopper back up on the pad, and everybody's okay now.
Husband's alive. He was wearing a vest. It looked
So-
like he wasn't wearing a whole movie.
Yeah.
He got one at the end.
Here's my question.
Manny had a vest on. He got shot.
Manny did
underneath
not
the
have a vest on.
Manny had a vest on.
Manny
It was
did not
white
have a
one.
vest on. That's how
Manny
Manny
had a
got
white
shot,
vest.
because Manny did not have that was not a vest. That was a dressing that they put on him after he got shot. Manny did not have a vest on, which is why I was wondering, how are you a Secret Service agent at a foreign event and you're supposed to be providing security, but you don't have a vest on?
Manny ready to die for this shit.
For no reason. This could have
like fuck a vest.
Manny could have been in so much better shape if he would have just had a vest on. There was no reason for him to not have one on.
Manny ain't got time for no vest.
Yeah, and that's why Manny got shot.
Manny got to cut the lights off. Manny got time to be playing.
Manny about to bleed out under. Manny about to bleed out under a junction box.
Manny ain't got time for no shit. We'll show you how to do this Calmarella.
And also, I had a question. Just
What's up?
For whatever reason they made the decision, because
by the way, the Together bill comes together and everybody signed it.
Yeah, they signed it because they all saw what Danielle did, and so they was like, hey, she saved our lives, so we might as well, even if we don't agree with this plan, we'll just go ahead and sign off anyway. We owe her that much, I guess.
Yeah,
but
they immortalized her dress and her shoes, which she took off and put on combat camouflage.
Yeah,
she's a working president.
Yeah, but she slapped Joanne in the face. Slap.
Joanne goes to jail
in the face, right here.
Yeah, slap the shit
on
out
the cheek.
Karen hard.
When Joanna
damn near dislocated her memory.
When Joanna went to jail, why did she have
a nose broken?
Yeah, why was her nose broken? She had a cut on her nose.
Let me tell you something, Spider. This is something that you may never know, being the fact that you're a man and an African American man. You'll never relate to this. Okay. So
I'm interested to see where this is going.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you if you let me. You have never been a Karen, so you don't know how it's when you turn into a Karen. Your whole DNA shifts. It's not as strong as like normal DNA. It becomes frail.
Okay.
Brittle. It becomes very delicate, kind of like paper, right? So you can have quick ability to call the police. You could move quickly. It helps with your motion to dial 911.
Okay.
And snitch. Like they're drinking Starbucks in the park.
In the Starbucks.
They're drinking Starbucks in the Starbucks. Come somebody down here right now. That's something the level you wouldn't understand. So when you get slapped, all your DNA is bruised. I just want you to know that little cut on her nose.
I think she had a black eye too. Like both her eyes were black, unless that was just bags under the eyes. I don't know. It looked like somebody beat her up.
Well, she's Karen in jail too, so yeah, that could happen. But her lineage is hurt when they would do that. So I'll let you know. Just don't be a Karen. Just mind your business. Stop trying to take down the government. How about that?
Yeah.
How about you stop trying to take down the government? You got bigger things to worry about than your bruised ego and failing DNA. Maybe that was the reason that she needed the money so she could get treatment.
I don't know. The motivation was so insane. Like you're harboring that much ill will towards her because she beat you out for the presidency, but she put you in her cabinet.
Yes, she did. They smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers.
I mean,
Hey,
this movie was full of backstabbers. You had Joanna
yes,
was a backstabber.
that's one.
Dalton was a backstabber. Rutledge
Dirty
got
Dalton.
stabbed in the back.
He literally, literally stabbed in the back.
But he stabbed his friend, so he was backstabbing too.
It come full circle.
It came full circle.
So they should have called it backstabbing.
They
instead
should.
of V20.
They should have.
Call it BC 20, VS 20, backstabbing 20.
I guess.
Here's the thing I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
We saw Anthony Starr's character fall off the side of the building, the helicopter, Hans Gruber style, right? Not really Hans Gruber style.
No, because they didn't. He fell, and they didn't give 2 seconds of a thought to watch him fall. He just fell.
Yeah, he did. Well, we didn't see a body.
He's dead.
We did not see a body. In fact, he was so good in this role. He could be alive. He could not come back for a sequel. So if we do like G21,
there's not.
I could see.
You know, G20 is a real thing. It's 20 nations, so they won't. I don't think they're creating a G21 anytime soon.
He got enough money. He could get his own nation. He could just call it.
He don't have nothing right now.
I don't think he did.
Well, I don't
think he did.
So you think he fell
in the world of movies?
You think he fell and he was able to retrieve the wallet once he got down there, since the wallet fell down there too?
Yes, we already see it can withstand anything. It's made from vibranium. And
speaking of vibranium,
what's that?
Demetrius.
Okay. If he's not in Wakanda 3, I don't know what's going on.
So the South African operatives who were impersonating the wait staff, they come in, they take the terrorists out. Demetrius sees it and
blown away.
What did he say?
He said, "Oh my God, you're from Wakanda."
Before that, because they said something in Zulu and he translated it.
Yes.
But then he says, "Are you guys from Wakanda?" And it's like, if you're smart enough to understand Zulu, but not that Wakanda is a fictitious nation, what are we doing here?
Hey man, it was a shout out to Wakanda. I'm gonna leave it at that, because goddamn, she came and did that Hurricane Rana. I was like,
they were badasses. When he threw that knife, because at that point we only still thought they were still wait staff. He threw that knife with expert precision at that dude. I was like, wait, who's this guy?
Right? I need somebody to call Ryan Coogler and tell them that they're available. They just finished G20 and they ain't coming back to G21, G22.
No, Rutledge is absolutely dead. There's now going to be a sequel to this. I can already. In the world of
movies, they tell you if
there's not a body, yes, then that doesn't necessarily mean that they're dead. But I can assure you that he's.
And sometimes you can even see a body. Look at Roadhouse with Conor McGregor. You saw a body. He had all kind of wood in him, and he was there at the end screaming out "Dalton." So you never know what happened. Listen,
God,
I can tell by your face. You have some feelings about it. But before I let you share your feelings, answer the question. G20, Prime, Viola Davis, Anthony Anderson, Marsha Martin. Is it super? Is it super?
I can't say that it was super.
Oh, wow. Okay. Whoa.
It's in no way a bad movie.
Here we go.
Like we said, it's very grounded in the realm of as grounded as these things can be when you have explosions and gunfights and terrorism and deep fakes and all this other kind of stuff. I do love the fact that nobody was like naive to what he was doing. Because he called the president of South Korea up to read the script, and he immediately clocked it. And he was like, he's trying to get us to say these words because it covers every single like sound in the English language,
narration,
and he's going to use deep fakes so he can make us say whatever it is that he wants us to say, like immediately. And I was like, okay, so at least they're not just like,
what are you doing,
dumb about it. It's like, well, we don't know what's going on. And
I appreciated that.
Yeah, and like I was saying about, Danielle fighting and it never being a situation to where she clearly overpowered someone. She used her intelligence. She was very aware of what was happening in the moment. She knew to grab the fire hydrant. She was like, we need to escape. I like the fact that Manny clocked he was looking at the blueprints. He knew where the little closet to the entryway of the back room was when nobody else even knew it. And even Danielle had to ask him about it. She was like, how did you know this was here? I love the fact that the first lady of South Korea was the one to find the laundry chute when they were trying to figure out how to get past all the other guards and everything.
Y'all worked that out about the slide.
And because it was so funny because Elena and Oliver were arguing and Manny and Danielle were talking and then she's just like, what's this? And nobody's paying any attention, so she just opens it up. And I'm watching, I'm like, what is she doing? And then not only did she open it up, but she just goes and dives right in. And then they turn around and like, where'd she go?
Right? Like going to Hogwarts, a little
so
entrance.
There were a lot of things to like about the movie. They did a lot of things in line with these types of action movies, these types of espionage movies to have these same events. It was very, very paint by the numbers, but they tweaked things ever so slightly to make it not seem like the protagonist is just a powerhouse that's not killable. The only reason Danielle survived is because Rutledge decided not to shoot her. Is that because at every moment they, for whatever reason, that they felt that, oh, we have to get the U.S. president to, we have to get her in a deep fake because she's the linchpin. She's the one that's going to seal the deal. When you have the leaders of 19 other nations, well, 18, because I don't know if the president of South Korea actually ever did it before he got killed. But you have all of these other leaders, all of these other politicians verbally, to make it seem like they're verbally admitting to crimes, money laundering, all of this stuff to put the countries in turmoil. We saw that the stocks were dropping. He's telling people to invest in crypto. They're doing that. So they never said he was looking to get to a certain number or anything like that, but he was so fixated on getting, and then his reasoning behind it was like, oh, you've been profiteering off of war and your country pulled us into this war.
All that was a facade.
And then the thing about it is that
about the money.
He was working for the Australian Special Forces, I think, when he was in the military. But the thing about it is,
he was there at the war.
Yeah, he was there. His team was the advanced team. They were clearing out IEDs and other explosive devices in order for the U.S. military to come through. And in doing so, device exploded, killed two of his team or two service members that served with him. And so he was holding that against the U.S. for whatever reason.
Yes.
I mean, in a war,
everybody has a part to play.
Exactly. But the thing about it is that it's not necessarily, or we don't know because they didn't necessarily say what war they were talking about in this film. But
yes.
It's never a single solitary person. Like, he was going after Danielle specifically for this. Like, it was specifically her fault that this happened. So now I have to make you pay.
Well, he was deranged, Father. Did you see?
No, clearly, yes, he was.
Like double-digit number of people he's killing.
But the thing that I didn't understand was that he had no problem killing the president of South Korea, but
He don't like South Korea.
for whatever reason,
Like,
but he could have easily after the because he got Danielle to say the words so that Rutledge would spare her husband Derek's life. So after he got the video, there was no reason for him to stick. Well, he did try to get away, but for whatever reason, he stayed around longer than intended. But the villains
just kill everybody at that point.
Exactly, the antagonist.
Everybody. The last words that they would have to live by was the deep fakes that you sent,
right?
And then all the people of the country would have been the ones that you got over on. But where could you have gone in the world?
But my thing was that his motivation was that he was getting back at the world leaders because of the part that they had to play in the war, and was supposedly hurting them. But the thing about it is he has this trying to make himself out to be this noble benefactor of the world, because well, not benefactor, I don't think benefactor is the right word, but he's trying to be this noble figure who's supposedly giving the wealth back to the people, right? Because like not even Robin Hood, because it's not like he's stealing the money and giving it back. He's telling them, crash the world economy, invest in crypto so that way your money can be safe from these crooked politicians, right? But
and I can be rich.
And that was never, because even it was his reasoning was never, he never said that he wanted to be rich. Even when when the video from Danielle went out and the value of the crypto started going up and up and up, he never said it. His guy, like I guess second in command or whoever it was, he said, well, be rich and we'll make off with all this money, but it still never came out of Rutledge's mouth. And then when Danielle asked him about it, he was talking about his brothers that were killed in the war and all this other kind of stuff. She was profiteering off of oil and all of this. He had these,
shut that shit down.
He had all of these sanctimonious reasons as to why he's doing what he's doing. But if that was the case, why hold himself back once he got what it is that he needed? If he thought he had the wallet, why take the girl? If he thought that when Danielle came out there with the wallet in her hand, he could have just shot her in the shoulder, had her drop the wallet, make off with it, been okay. Would have been fine. The antagonist, Anthony Starr's Rutledge, his performance, phenomenal. This is a character that he can play very well. The endearing type to smile in your face, but then at the same time shove the knife right,
got you right here, right under your ribs. String it up. I don't want you to stop and feel it here. I want you to feel it up here like it's acid reflux.
But the motivations behind him and doing what he was doing didn't make sense. The motivations behind Joanna and her part in this whole thing was so just ridiculous, because we didn't spend enough time with her to, I understand they wanted to make it like a twist. This person that we thought was on our side is not on our side. But it was literally only just one statement when they were on Air Force One and they were sitting and they were talking, and Joanna was like, oh, I guess we can be friends again. And Danielle was like, we were never not friends. That we were supposed to pick up, like Joanna clearly had some animosity that she was holding on to against Danielle for Danielle beating her out for the presidency. And we're supposed to take that one little statement and think, oh, that's enough fuel for her to launch this entire coup against 20 nations in order to destroy the global economy because you got beat out for a presidential seat.
That's what happened when you don't send a thank you card for that edible arrangements that you got. I'm letting you know right now, Spider. Don't do it. It could happen at your event. If somebody sends you an edible arrangement, whether you eat it or not, send them a thank you card, a thank you letter. It's
Something.
warm fruit with chocolate on it. So it's a good time had by somebody. Yeah, hey, you want a G20? You better send that thank you card.
And even a lot of the stuff it wasn't, they were trying to be clever about revealing things and having them come into play later on in the movie. When Serena escapes for the first time, they talk about, well, first of all, they accuse Dalton because they're talking about how much he can how Serena was able to escape so easily.
Yeah,
And
she's
then
that
that
genius.
gets that gets brought back when Dalton is looking for the kids and he asks Derek where they are, and Derek's like, I don't know, I have no clue. But Serena is, she is a professional at escaping you, so good
Yeah,
luck in
so I'm not
catching her.
even worried about it.
But the whole
But
thing
yeah, she
about,
hacked into a TV antenna. I don't know how many people can just do that. Just
yeah,
you
but
ain't
not
going to
even hacked
ITT to
into,
get those skills.
she created a relay out of, I don't know where she had the equipment to
A
do all of this
box of
stuff.
scrap. I'm sorry.
I mean, essentially, that's what it was. I don't know what she used.
She'd
They
have
didn't.
Tony Stark
They
a
didn't show
G20.
her crafting the thing that she used, but they did make a reference to Mr. Robot and said that the guy, Mr. Robot, used a Pringles can and did the same thing. So I don't know what she used, but the whole thing about her cloning the RFID chip and using it to get out of the White House in order to escape and go to the party. And then of course, as soon as they get to the hotel, oh, we use RFID chips and all of this stuff. RFID, so what would happen if I, and all this other kind of stuff. So it's like they
Yeah, it's
tell,
not shit that come up in subtle conversations, but
yeah,
they
and
you're
it
right.
they
They had to
telegraphed all
sprinkle a
of it.
foreshadow.
Yeah, and I mean, you call it foreshadowing. I call it a blatant telegraph. They're basically
Oh
telling
wow.
us this is exactly how they're going to resolve the issue in the
Well, they
third
want
act
the
of the movie.
audience not to be lost.
Well, I mean, you can
You
do
gotta lay
that
these
and not have the
breadcrumbs out.
audience be lost without making it be that apparent and that obvious.
I
And I
don't
think
disagree
that
with you.
was probably my biggest my biggest gripe with the movie was that everything was so telegraphed beforehand, talking about the heels, talking about the dress. Then we see her trip on the dress, we see her not wear the heels, she
We
wore the
see her
tennis
put the
shoes.
heels on,
we
and
see
then we
we
don't
see her
see
put the
her take
heels
them
on, and
off. We
she
just
said
see her.
that, yeah, and she says that she doesn't like the heels. Derek tells her, he's like, well, you could take them off, I won't tell anybody. And then she gets out of the elevator, she has on tennis shoes.
Yeah, but I thought she was like, no, I don't. I'm not gonna do that. Next thing you know, she's wearing these tennis shoes,
Right. And
which
so,
are immortalized now
I mean, yeah, they're the tennis shoes that she used
to save the world.
to kick
Because she
terrorism in
said
the
that.
ass. I don't know,
I gotta
but
go save the world.
that I mean, that was my whole thing. It was just, it was
This was
like I said,
before the film.
it was very paint by numbers. Yeah, they added the groundedness to it. Yeah, they added, the comedic elements to it, which I wasn't expecting to have the comedic elements in it. So it was pretty refreshing. And I would say, for other than the Wakanda line, I would say for the most part, all of the rest of the little jokes did hit, and I got a good little chuckle out of them. So, but it was just, it didn't do enough for me to be like, oh, this is great, to for me
Damn.
to be able to call it super.
Damn. Shit. Damn. God damn. Shit. Damn. All right. That's enough profanity. All right.
But Mr. VIP Frank Washington,
Yes, sir.
when it comes to Amazon Prime Video's G20,
Amazon Prime.
do you think it was super?
Wait for it. Yes, I do. I liked it. I liked it. I think Viola Davis looked amazing. I appreciate
I
what
agree with
Anthony
that.
Anderson brought to the stage. Anthony Starr, man, to see him outside of Homelander, to step into this, Oh,
I mean,
I enjoyed it.
it wasn't a big step that he had to take.
More like a sidestep. He ain't even taking
he
tippy toe.
he grew out his facial hair and took off the padded suit, and then I mean, it was essentially he was playing the
I
same character.
I enjoyed the accent. I didn't feel like
Oh
he
well, I
was
mean, that's
dialing it
his
in.
his regular speaking voice.
Well, sometimes some people don't sound right in their regular speaking voice because you're
Because you're
so
so
used
used
to
to
hearing
them.
them. Exactly.
To be 100% honest, anytime I see Charlie Cox in an interview, it always throws me off because I like, fuck, I forgot he's British.
That part, right?
Because a lot of people do recognize Charlie Cox from his early work as a younger actor, but I was first introduced to him in Daredevil. So
As a
anytime I
man
see him
without
on
fear.
screen, I hear him speaking in an American accent. And then when I see him in interviews and he starts speaking in his British, I'm like, fuck, all right, he is British.
Yeah, Idris Elba got that a lot because
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
Fruitvale Station. He was like, "Oh, you're not from Oakland? You're
Fruitvale
not
Station, you mean a
what?"
wire? Was he in
That's what
Fruitvale Station?
exactly. That's exactly what I didn't mean. That's exactly what I didn't mean. Yeah, I enjoyed it though.
Mhm.
I think Viola Davis looked amazing. I think Anthony. It was the small subtleties for me, and let me tell you why. Women love beards, and when she played in Anthony Anderson's beard, I don't know if that was scripted or not, but I know women across the nation was like, yes, girl, yes, because they've been probably trying to get in that beard since he started his routine. And it was realism for me. And then she kept playing with the beard. Even when he got shot, there was some beard love going on. As a man with a beard, Spider,
That's what
we
did it for
appreciate
you.
these things. No, it's the small subtleties, though. And again, it was Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
Again, one of my favorite movies is Die Hard, but it was Die Hard different. And all the things that you mentioned with her knee injury, and she's an older lady, she's a president, you're retired military, you're retired because you're the president. You're not even supposed to be seeing like this is a clusterfuck of effort proportion,
And
and there's
she
no need.
didn't run in a single scene. Like every time she was moving,
No,
she that limp.
she's
She
getting
had that
pushed,
limp.
and it's crazy because these things are never supposed to happen. So you got to think about it. Okay, if they don't do it like this and explain it like this and keep everybody going with what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to lose people. Because if this was to really happen, this would never happen
Right.
because the security was already, you know what I'm saying? So you have to tell the story in a compelling way that to make it happen and be realistic enough and grounded enough. Again, you don't have you know, superheroes flying in. This is a situation we can't get help there, and even when we get help there, they're not going to breach too many high profiles. And exactly like you said, if any country breach without an agreement and somebody dies, which again,
Somebody
the
did.
stakes. How many times have we said people gonna die for you to realize that the stakes are high?
Mm-hmm.
We killed this is leaders of countries. Anthony Starr is Ginsuing them with his little flip knife. I'm talking about, he just picks a guy out and say, guess what? You're getting out of here. And sends him to the heaven, sends him straight to God. God wants you. Go see what he wants. It's like, God called you. That dude is dead. His character is at least. So you don't feel like anybody is safe. You know that anybody can kind of get it. When Anthony Anderson got shot, I was like, oh, he died. I was going into the movie thinking he was going to die, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because
Honestly,
he's
I
a
did.
threat.
The fact that Manny didn't have a bulletproof vest on and he
I
got
thought
shot.
he got something. You said that was dressing. I thought
That
that was a white vest.
no, they put
And
that
then he got shot like in his abdomen underneath
yeah,
the
so
vest.
it wasn't a kill shot, but no, it would have still he didn't get shot in an area where if he had on a vest, it would have missed the vest. Because
Yeah.
he got shot in the side. It was low,
Yes.
but it
And
wasn't low enough to
it
where it would
didn't
go
go
under
in
the
and out.
vest. Yeah, and it did not go in and out. The bullet was still in.
Which is interesting that they made a point to say that, because they could have went in and out, and then what difference would they have made? Because people always say it like, "Oh man, it went in and out, you good." Dude, I got shot. Like, there's no good in it.
I
Like,
mean,
oh, but you don't have the bullets still in you.
yeah, because at least
Yeah,
with
but I got 2 holes in me now instead of one.
instead of one.
Thanks.
But if you can get dressing on a bullet wound when it has an entry and an exit wound, then you have a higher chance of stabilizing and recovering faster than if you are sitting with a bullet in your body. Because I don't think that the bullet is breaking down in that moment, but I know if you leave it in, that could have lasting repercussions. But having a foreign object in your body is never a good thing.
That part. At all. That part. Even Preston.
But no, but when he laid down, it's not like they had to get a vest off of him in order to get to it. Because he didn't have a vest on.
Would have been stupid to put a vest on.
Well, what I'm saying, well, that's what I'm saying, because it wasn't.
They're shooting for real, y'all. Y'all might want to put y'all on.
Y'all gotta vest up.
Y'all might want to put y'all on. But hey, no, I got one. Don't let this be you.
Yeah, but because that's why. Because even when he had the dressing on, it was just like here.
But that's why it made me think it was a vest, because he had this white contraption on all up under here. What are you wearing? A waist trainer?
It wasn't. It was literally just a t-shirt under a dress shirt. Now, maybe I'm mistaken and I'll have to go back and look at it, but it did not look like he had any type of extra padding.
It's worth a second watch. You probably see some things you didn't see in the first time.
I guess I missed Anthony Starr being in his priest outfit when he was in the church. Y'all go watch
G20, man. Y'all come back and let us know what y'all see. I'm telling you, Anthony Starr was in a priest outfit in the church. One of the first scenes they showed him in. I was like, why is he wearing... Because he had no part to do in the church. You don't see him again.
He's not a part of the drop. He's not a part. It's like, even if he had to verify it, it's not like he was gonna. I guess he was gonna come out of the shadows in his priest outfit to verify. And then even in that case, the woman would have got her money then and there. So I don't know why she was so unwilling to hand it over.
She needed confession.
I guess she was in some kind of trouble where she needed the money immediately. I don't know. That we never got to learn anything about it. All.
I don't know. I'm still standing on my super status. Funny, not about to change.
Look, I'm just.
It don't make sense. Listen, it don't have to make sense to be super.
No, it doesn't. It absolutely does not. And I'm not trying to dissuade you. Look, just like we've watched movies and we've watched TV shows and we've called them super, and we know that they made questionable choices in their dialogue, in the way that the movie is portrayed, and the characters' motivations. Yes, absolutely. This one for me, it just wasn't there. For you, if it was super, I completely understand. Like I said,
I would watch it again. I recommended it. I said G20. Listen, for what it is, at this current point in time, it's something that y'all need to watch. G20, Amazon. Y'all ain't gotta leave the house.
And
get Amazon.
And here's just one more point that I want to make. And then we can go ahead and wrap up the show, because I said it when we watch Back in Action. This is my
Jamie Foxx, Cameron Diaz. Not the one with Billy Blanks.
With these characters who are parents. We open the movie with Manny coming in, waking Danielle up, saying,
"Yep, we got a situation."
Avid is
sleeper too.
Avid is escaped.
Snore hard.
Avid is we're in pursuit. Avid is returned. We find out that Avid is the code name for Serena. And why did she get the code name Avid, but Demetrius got the code name A Student? I thought that was kind of fucked up.
Hey, man.
Because clearly she's smart. So I don't know, is she not getting A's?
She's a tech genius. So, she might be, failing because she's smarter than the actual teachers.
She's so smart that she's bored. But my whole thing is that they bring her back and Danielle is, chastising her about escaping and, all that other kind of stuff.
She ain't got no time for no rules.
But here's the thing.
President's daughter.
It was the same way with Back in Action, where you're not giving your children the full scope of everything that's going on. Yeah, in Back in Action, they lied to them because they didn't want the children to be in danger with the knowledge that their parents used to be spies because they were hiding
Yeah,
out and all that other kind of stuff.
yeah, it's different.
But here,
She's a president. She
yes,
can't
this is
hide that.
different. This is you are the president of the United States. Your
Right,
daughter is 17.
right.
I feel like Serena is old enough to understand optics, understand how if things are perceived a certain way, how that could have repercussions not only
Yes,
for her mother, but
yes,
for the country as a whole. Your mother
yes,
represents the entire country. And just like the
yes.
reporter said, how are we supposed to trust you with these global plans if you can't keep
Yeah,
your own house in order?
I wish she would have answered that. I wish she wouldn't have walked off. I wish she would have gave him a nice little
Yeah,
quipper
I agree
response,
with
but
that.
they didn't want to. I don't think they wanted her to be the angry black president woman, so they just kind of left it alone. But I really wish she would have kind of responded to him in a way that would have been politically on point, but yet and still have a little sass in it.
I
You know
mean,
what I'm
because
saying?
when she got to the G20 summit and the reporter was asking the question, she was like, "Don't try to hijack my narrative and try to portray this as something that it's not." So she did not have any problems being, getting back at
Right,
the reporters. So yeah, I
right.
don't know why they wouldn't allow her to answer that question. But the thing about it is that I feel like if you have a child who is of that level of intellect, you can't just be like,
But she,
do as I
right,
say because I
she's
said
also a
so.
child though.
No. She's a teenager. She's about to be 18. I'm not saying
Next
that
year.
you have to treat her like an adult and not expect her to do childish things. But what I'm saying
Mhm.
is that I feel like the way that the movie was framed was it made it seem like Danielle never had a conversation about those types of things with Serena,
Mm.
about the
Mm.
type of ramifications that could happen because those things happen, or just the dangerous nature of you being the daughter
Being out
of
without
an elected
Secret
official
Service.
and you're ditching your security detail. Because what if
Yeah,
something
you can get
happened to you?
snatched
What if
up.
somebody
You
kidnapped you
got
and
to
held you for
you got to
ransom?
call Liam Neeson. You got to call Liam Neeson, Spider. That's the only way you get her back is to call Liam Neeson. He
Right.
has a special set
and
of skills.
and that's my whole thing, and I know it has to serve the purpose of having Serena come with them to go to the G20 summit so she could be the one to
Yes.
do all the technical stuff, just like Rutledge had his guy in a chair,
Well,
Serena was Danielle's
well,
guy in a chair. But my pet peeve is that I don't like, because it's not just this movie, it's just not just Back in Action, it's a trope that they do in almost any movie or TV show where the parents are doing something that they feel that the children don't need to know, or they feel like the children shouldn't know. And I've never
I didn't. I got the back in action part that you're referring to, but I didn't get it in
it
that
was it
regard.
was
In the
the
sense you're
no, but it was the conversation that they were having in
in
the
the bedroom.
in the bedroom when Serena tries to fire back at Danielle. It's like, you always worried about how you look, you're always trying to make yourself look good. And I think in that moment, instead of Derek being like, it's 4 a.m, we're all going to bed, take all your equipment. Yeah, it's 4 a.m, I understand you got shit to do, but I think at that moment you do need to have that conversation because it's in the moment. Show that you're like, look, I'm not taking your stuff away just to be, oh, you did a bad thing, so this is your punishment. You are currently presenting a cybersecurity risk to the White House. We
Yes.
we have to treat you like a
Yes.
hacker. You hacked into
Yes.
RFID, created our own card so you could sneak out, ditch your Secret Service detail. We have to, one, confiscate your equipment so we can make sure that this is not going to happen, so anybody else can hack into these systems and
That
somebody
part.
that wants to do harm to the family. But then
That
two,
part.
you have to understand the seriousness of what you did, and us not seeing that conversation, or at least any type of allusion to a conversation like that being held, I think is irresponsible for a president to have kids and a kid that's sneaking out and you not talking to them about that. Because I think that if we were able to have that conversation or even have a hint to them, like, look, this is why this is so serious. And you get Danielle sit down and talk to Serena, and then we can like fade away and then go into the next scene of them eating breakfast or doing whatever. It just, I feel like
you ain't get the apology.
The apology at the end of the movie when they regret all the things that they said.
Yeah, because they're about to die.
But I feel like they could have also her taking off the wedding ring, and I felt like that was because that was never something that was.
Listen,
I don't know. I understand.
You gotta protect that ice. You know how much that ring costs? Father, let me tell you something. Anthony Anderson ain't playing around. This is president. You ain't gonna be walking around with just no small ring and this female friend. That thing, you seen that ring?
Yeah.
Wrap it up in that paper, blood diamond. I mean, wrap it up in that plate.
And whose car was that?
That's the Beast, right?
No, she didn't put it in the Beast because the Beast had already left.
Yeah, it was left.
That was just some other random SUV.
Somebody about to get lit. Somebody about to get come right in the morning with that Starbucks coffee.
They go to get in the car. They go put it in the cup holder. Like, wait, hold on, what is this? Oh, this real.
What's this letter say? Oh, they don't need that. And darkest day.
But no, it's just I feel like there are a lot of situations, not even just parents to kids. Just we talked about this before. Just talk, communicate, say words.
Oh, that's fine. We ain't got time for that. We got to get to the G20.
Yeah.
So we're doing a die hard. Listen,
how long was the flight from the Air Force One flight
from the U.S. to South Africa?
I know how long the flight is because I've taken that flight. It is a 17-hour flight. Well, it's a 17-hour flight from Atlanta. Commercially, it's 17 hours from Atlanta to South Africa. So
Air
from
Force
DC
One
to South Africa, it's probably roughly about the same time because you can only fly so fast. But you're looking at
Air Force One.
You're looking at over 15 hours. I'll tell you that right now. That's a lot of time to have a conversation. We could at least had some type of allusion to a conversation being held.
She was talking to a friend, or what she thought was her friend.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah.
So
that was
and then the daughter was punished. So these things don't happen.
So she was in timeout on her room.
It. Yes.
Oliver, the UK Prime Minister, can join her in timeout.
Man. Put that boy in his place.
You're in
with a hole in his goddamn abs. Goddamn.
Oh, yeah, but let us know.
They should see that one. They should see this.
Let us know if you plan on watching G20 or if you've already seen G20. Let us know.
Comment down.
And leave us comments and let us know what you thought about it. But remember, if you like this video, go ahead, hit that like button, but also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your favorite podcast streaming platform. And if you want to reach out to us on social media, just click the link in the description below.
My heart looked crazy, but it's okay. It came from the heart.
That's all that matters.
And I gotta do this just to show people that ATS is right here.
Is represented.
I just want them to know.
You got it.
I think they'll read.
But
what's wrong, Spider?
I'm looking to the future already. This is in review.
Snap.
We have some.
You think your G20 ago.
But no, we got some bangers coming out in the next couple episodes. We have our Daredevil Born Again Season 1 review. We're going to hop into that.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk about that.
Hopping. Oh, my
Speaking of hopping, I don't know what he's referencing, but we'll talk about that. But we also have Sinners coming out, starring Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld.
Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, Haley Steinfeld. Listen, people outside the MCU could do stuff outside the MCU.
Yeah,
but people.
Why does it seem like when people? It seems like people in the MCU have been sticking together for projects, And I'm not complaining because for the most part they've been working. But it just, I don't know. I
I
guess
did
you
see Brie
you're
Larson and Samuel L. Jackson do that unicorn movie.
what unicorn movie?
You didn't see Brie Larson's and Samuel L. Jackson unicorn movie?
No, I did not.
Okay, well I forget the name of it. I'm sorry, but it's pretty decent.
Brie
It's
Larson and
old.
Samuel L. Jackson in the unicorn
Yeah,
movie?
she directed it. She produced and directed it.
I didn't know anything
I
about
think
that.
it's the Unicorn Store. I think that's the exact name of it. But to go back what you were saying, yeah, this came out like after Captain Marvel. It's an old movie. It's an older movie. It's older now that you're seeing this video because depending on when you see it, that movie is continuously getting older.
No, that came out before Captain Marvel.
Really?
Yeah, because
Are
Captain
you
Marvel was
sure?
2019, right? Because Captain
And
Marvel
the
was
Unicorn Store came out when?
between Infinity
Endgame
War
and
and
Infinity
Endgame,
War.
right?
Yeah.
Unicorn Store came out in 2017.
I don't I don't know if that happened that way in reality. Maybe maybe in this generation. I don't know.
But even
Some
still,
different
like we're
time.
talking about the
MCU cast sticking together.
the
Gotcha.
MC, yeah, the MCU is like they brought them together. They're like this family, and
Because
so where there
Killmonger
is
and
writers and
Kang.
directors, producers,
Yeah.
actors, they're all like in this circle now and doing projects and working on stuff together. So I don't know if these people were
Pause.
aware of each other prior to working together in the MCU, but
Mm.
having them come together for all of these different projects, I feel like is just a great unification of talents, and so I'm excited to see because I mean Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler have been making magic for years now, so I'm interested
Since
to
the
see,
beginning of his career,
and
both
so
careers.
yeah, and so I'm interested to seeing how this is going to turn out. So we're really looking forward to it, and of course we're going to be reviewing it here on the show,
You
and
think
hopefully you'll be here to join
you
us.
think Ryan Coog is ever gonna do a movie without Michael?
I mean, I'm sure he's done so already,
No,
hasn't
no,
he?
no, no. Everything that he's touched, Michael's been in. They make
Everything?
magic.
No, they do
Fruitville,
absolutely.
Fruit,
Yeah, Fruitvale
Fruitville
Station,
Statement,
uh, Black Panther, and Wakanda Forever.
Creed,
He was a producer on. Were we talking about directing, or are we talking about just
right? Ryan
period?
Coogler directed Creed 1.
Yeah, he directed Creed 1. But that's what I'm saying. Are we talking about directing, or are we talking about just working on in general? Because he was a producer on Judas and the Black Messiah, and
I'm talking
Michael B.
about
Jordan wasn't
the
in there.
directing.
In
Directing is
development,
what
he
I'm
has a
referring to.
TV series called Scenes from Minors. Um, I don't know
I mean, I
if
know it won't last forever. In fact,
yeah,
it's probably gonna no, I'm hoping that it does, but it probably won't. He's probably gonna give us a couple of iterations without him, and then that makes that comeback film that much more harder, right? Because from the trailer, it looks like they're about to kill it in Sinners.
yeah. But I wouldn't want him to be pigeonholed into people thinking that he can only create good films if he has Michael B. Jordan in them. Because I would
Well,
love
that's
to
not
see
true.
him branch out and
We've seen him do other stuff.
well, that's what I'm saying. As far as directing, other than some shorts, everything that he's directed, like you said, has had Michael B. Jordan in it. Because he did Fruitvale Station, he did Creed, he did Black Panther 1 and 2. He's doing Sinners. And then
Where did he find magic?
the only other movie that he has in development right now is Wrong Answer, which, as IMDb goes right now, and IMDb isn't always accurate, but as of right now, it is starring Michael B. Jordan.
Hey,
So
what it ain't broke.
no, it's not. I'm not saying that he.
What you,
I'm not saying that he has to do anything without him because, of course, no, I'm nobody. He doesn't have to listen to me. But I would like him to help propel careers for other young talented actors too.
what are you talking about? He's opened the door for a lot of other people. They're just
And
not in the relationship space that him and Michael B. Jordan is in.
You know what?
Listen, they
If you
do
like
it
it, I
all the
love it.
time. Adam Sandler puts all of his friends in his movies. They
Yeah, but
do
that's
it all the
different.
time.
That's different.
How's that? How's that different, sir?
Because Adam's not directing the movies.
If you okay, so Spider, if I have a movie
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not directing the movie, or if I'm directing the movie and I say, Spider, I got a part for you in this movie. Are you coming or are you not coming?
Well, it depends on what the movie is.
Well, it's obviously something that you're interested in, or
Well,
you
if it's
wouldn't
something
do
I'm
it.
interested, listen, I am not saying that they should stop working together. I am not saying that
I
I
hope
don't
not.
want them to work together. I'm not saying that
I
there's
hope not
anything
either.
wrong with them working together.
We're
I'm
about to
just saying
find out
that
if we watch Sinners.
I know that Ryan Coogler is a talented director. I don't
Oh
want
yes.
people
I don't think we
saying
get
that
enough credit.
Ryan Coogler can't make a great movie without Michael B.
Without Michael
Jordan.
B. Jordan,
That's what I'm saying.
here's the
But the
thing:
only
if
way
he
we can
takes
see that is if he makes a movie without Michael B. Jordan.
and it is a trying, it is a thing that he's going to have to do if he really wants to stand out, right? To show that he can bring that same type of magic in industry, just other stuff, to
Yeah.
other other talents.
Because, I mean, they can
But
still work together. They can co direct something.
I don't think I don't think he has to though. I
No,
don't
and
think
I'm
that
not saying that
matters
he
to him.
has to. I'm not saying that he has to by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't want him to, and this is
If
just,
I look back on my career and like this is the guy I went to the trenches with, and he was a guy that's my brother. I can count on him. There's no ego involved. We come to the set, we have fun, we get it done.
yeah,
The people love to see us together. Like when you step out of that framework, who are you stepping out for? Because I'm pretty sure when he's writing stuff, I mean, I've seen a couple of interviews. He's like, I have you in mind for this.
mm-hmm,
And it's not to say that he won't look at somebody else's talent and say, I don't have them in mind for that. But then you got the other stuff that has to go along with it, the gelling of the energy and the co-mingling and egos and all that stuff kind of destroys creativity. Creativity is a fragile thing, Spider. So fragile.
yeah. I guess it all depends on just what your aspirations are and what it is that he wants to achieve. I'm just, I feel like for career longevity, when he's making movies, if it's something that he wants to do and he wants to, what's the word, expand his
Mm-hmm.
reach for his films, if all I'm saying, and it's again not that I have any say or can predict or determine the outcome of anything that he does. If he knows what he, well, I'm not saying if he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's doing,
He
and
knows what he's
it's
doing.
working for
He's
him.
going in that
So
horror route right now, which is an untapped route right now for us. I mean, Jordan Peele's in that space, but
mhm.
you can see he's kind of alone in that space. So if Ryan Coogler says, "Hey, I want to make a vampire movie," clearly he made one. And one of the things that I did respect, I seen this interview. There's asking him about Black Panther 3, and
Of
he
course, because
says
that's
that
all. That's always on the mind of everybody is Marvel.
of course. I mean, who doesn't? They dominate a lot of things. But he's like, the attention is on Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
And once Sinners is done and it's open and everything is going well with it, he said he's gonna go home for about a month and eat some home cooking. And I mean, he's doing
Get back to
fresh
work.
right now for Sinners. And then he said he'll start looking at three.
Yeah,
And rightfully so, man. Let that man have some time to breathe and enjoy. This is his. This is not IP. This is his story. Like
right.
he created the sound, the storyline, and it's. I hope he franchises it myself. I don't know what's gonna happen with the characters, but
Everything
it
can't be
might
a
be a.
franchise.
Did it? How many Dust Till Dawns did they make?
I don't know.
Look it up.
I have no
They
clue.
got they got they got like five of them. I think they had like four of them and then a TV series. So this is Dust Till Dawn heavily influenced. I can't see how they couldn't spin it off. Again, I don't know. I don't know who survives and who doesn't. I know from the trailer, Haley gets turned. Uh, so that's disappointing.
But,
Wanted her to make it.
but we don't know what's gonna happen, so we'll see.
Well, I know from the trailer she don't make it. So, damn. I want Haley Steinfeld to make it. You know what this reminds me of right now in this moment? You ever see that show, the Internet Cafe, or the cafe thing when they have Superman and Batman sitting at the cafe?
Oh,
They in a,
yeah,
how
that's
it should have ended. That's not
how it should have
It's,
ended. The animated
yeah,
shorts.
the hizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gave me that vibe just now. When I said that just now about how I wanted her to survive, I felt like Batman saying, Haley Steinfeld, you want to know my secret identity? They came into their own, they came into their own with their little show,
They
man. I
did.
appreciate them. Shout out to you guys, man. Hizzy.
But yeah, so we'll be checking out Daredevil Born Again. We'll be reviewing that whole season, and then we'll be checking out Sinners. Listen, you don't have to give away that you don't like the hero. We already know you don't like him.
I will not. I love Daredevil.
No,
what?
you don't.
Big heart.
Don't try to gaslight everybody. We already know your feelings about Daredevil.
It's so true. It's deep down inside.
But
really deep.
Thank you all so much for joining us this episode. We appreciate all the love and support. We'll see you back again for the next one. But just remember, until then, keep being super.
It's all good.